a first episode of the Breakfast Club review. What should we call it? I thought you was
going to do other shows too.
I don't know. I think right now I'm going to do the Breakfast Club.
Okay, I'll be careful with that because you may want to add other shows with their.
But that could be something different. That could be different than this. So
I like that.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. Let's see how this first show goes. Review of the Breakfast Club, and it's not really doing a recap of the Breakfast Club. It's just things that stuck out.
Okay.
That we can talk about.
Okay.
Now we didn't start it yesterday like we were supposed to, which was Monday, which would have been on the 25th. But they talked about that pastor that got robbed in Brooklyn.
He went viral, boy.
He went viral. You know what? There you go. That's how I bring in other stuff. Because other people talked about it. He got in an argument with Larry Reed. So that's how I bring in other things.
Larry said, I helped you go viral.
Even though it's about the Breakfast Club, that could be, the spin could be me hearing about
Larry
it.
was like,
stuff.
Nobody knew who you was, Bishop.
Right.
Until I put it out there.
And they called in Larry Reed. Larry Reed was talking about him and cracking on him and pretending he was on the Larry
is if you watch.
And he was with this other lady, and she happened to be heavyset. And that the man that got robbed, the bishop that got robbed, called in, and he was cussing and yelling at everybody and yelling at him. He was so mad. And so you don't be making fun of me.
I wonder if he was mad because they cracked on him. Was he mad because he got?
He was mad because people think he's lying. That's why he was mad. And
I ain't lying. I did have a gun in my head and was to my kids.
Isn't it funny how nobody else got robbed?
It was if you guys look at the video, it was a gentleman sitting in the back.
Oh, he was just relaxed. Yeah, he was relaxed.
He was too relaxed for that to be happening.
Like he knew what was going on.
They should have had him out of view so we can kind of think maybe this is
And then
real.
The camera kind of moved too a little bit so that you couldn't see the head of the pastor while he was taking the jury off of him.
Stage?
I just think it was staged. I don't believe it. And then you said he had a history. You heard he had a history.
Yeah, he's been in prison before and for fraud and other stuff. That's why Larry was like.
Unfortunately, if it is true, nobody cares.
And
because you have a history, and you shouldn't have been wearing $400,000 worth of jewelry in the first place.
Thing.
That's the first place. You in a broke down looking church, and you went. It's not like he had a mega ministry like TD Jakes. Even TD Jakes'
house won't have that.
But
problem.
I'm saying even TD Jakes, you can see him having a watch that's worth $400,000.
Yeah.
Even though that's still crazy. But that's not unrealistic for somebody to come and take his watch and say I lost $300,000.
But here's the thing,
in that broke down looking church,
we wouldn't be surprised if we found out Joel Osteen had a chain
that was
$500,000 chain.
Yeah, even though why would you do that? But I'm just saying. It makes
look
sense.
At the church. The church is nice.
Yeah.
Stairs, you
got
the backdrop.
Yeah.
This man got some tack nails, they said, hanging up some curtain. He said, that's our backdrop. We in a transition.
You in a transition, but you wearing all your jewelry that day. All your jewelry. Not one chain. All of it.
All of it.
All of it. And then talking about they had to go under his clothes to get some more.
That means they knew where it was.
So, not only you wearing the chains that we all can see, but you got chains under your clothes.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So we gonna see.
So even if it's true, nobody cares.
But here's the thing.
Because you're an idiot for wearing it in the first place.
If this is not true,
you Jussie
Smollett situation, because they gonna make you pay half of that. Definitely the money.
Well, it depends.
That
you know what?
The legal group to go and check you out.
It depends on the police department.
Okay.
If the Brooklyn Police Department puts any man time into trying to find these so-called criminals, they gonna Jussie Smollett you.
Yes.
They gonna bill you back with your broke church.
Yeah.
But then Larry Reed said he under investigation from the FBI, allegedly.
Ooh.
And in 4 months, he probably gonna be behind bars, allegedly.
I don't know. You know, a part of me.
That's what Larry Reed said.
A part of me wonders, did he want Larry Reed to post that not? I think that.
I don't think he wanted Larry. That's why he mad, because he probably like, nobody watches this show. If he probably got like maybe 5 people to watch that show, and Larry Reed put it on, and he made it go viral.
Because Larry said that the news people have come to him for information because he's always on top of what's going on.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
So he posted that. That opened up.
Opened a can of worms.
Investigation, unfortunately, Mr. Bishop man.
Yeah.
You had your bishop ring.
Yep.
And your bishop
And then he gonna say here they stole his
bishop ring.
What's a bishop necklace and a bishop ring?
It says the word bishop.
He
He got that stolen. And they would say, how much you think?
Can you imagine if Jesus walked around with every piece of jewelry
he
on?
He wouldn't need to do the money in the fish, because he would just sell one of his rings.
Even Jesus would have been clunked on the side of the head.
Caesar,
Jesus would have been clunked on the side of the head
one of those,
and scanned, Father. He would have been saying, Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken thee?
Judas wouldn't have to ask them to give him pieces of silver. He would steal it from Jesus.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God. But I get it. He came on so angry at Larry, and Larry was trying to tell him that I was just joking, man. We do take it serious if you was by gunpoint, but we get it.
That was yesterday. The Breakfast Club did. We back on the Breakfast Club.
What's his name anyway? Bishop
Whitehead or something. Okay. They talked about that, and
I agree with Charlamagne.
Charlamagne said he shouldn't have been wearing it in the first place.
If you're gonna wear that much money,
you should have security.
Thank you. Secure that with stuff on you.
That's anybody. That's a pastor. That's a entertainer. That's you. Why would you wear the most valuable thing you have in the hood?
Yeah.
Not even in the hood. Anywhere that you think somebody that there's no security there.
That's why people think it's good.
So I believe it. I believe it was fake, but we'll see. So today they talked about this crazy man who drove to the space center and said that he wanted to warn the government that there were aliens and dragons that were fighting each other. And the thing that stuck out with me on this story is,
oh my God,
he probably saw demons.
Yeah. You know what? If you see things, people
ain't even trying to be funny.
And let's be real, y'all. Those of us who are spiritual,
look at my face.
There have been people who have seen demonic, spiritual things, angels, good, bad. He may have seen something.
He said he saw.
But how can you explain a supernatural experience to a world, to a natural?
And I'm telling y'all right now, I don't think we may be calling this man crazy, but he may not be off, because with everything that's going on in this world right now, dragon, when I think of a dragon, I ain't gonna get super spiritual on y'all, but I think it's China.
Ooh, okay, the symbol, that pretty much the symbol that represents them. Okay,
I'm just saying. Everybody just keep track of what's going on in the world right now.
You know what's so sad though, because for people who do sincerely see it and they're not like going lunatic like this man probably.
Oh, he could just be a Looney Tune.
Yeah, Looney Tune. It's almost like
on drugs.
It's building the atmosphere. Yeah, it's built. Okay. I'm doing a plug.
Okay,
it's building the atmosphere to not be believable.
Yeah. So when you finally do see something, people gonna be like, yeah, whatever.
Boy crying.
So that stuck out to me.
So that's sad.
The other thing that stuck out to me, Charlamagne went to a concert. Guess who was in the concert? Comedy. Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Oh my.
And Kevin Hart.
What kind of concert was that?
No more dates. It was just that date.
That one day?
It was in New York. He said, they said Dave Chappelle was he was an add-on. He came out, I think, and surprised everybody.
They must not have planned that.
He said that show was so good.
They probably peed on themselves laughing.
He said their commentary was so good. I hate that I missed it.
Oh wow!
But he said it was very good.
Was it YouTubed or something? Did anybody have any kind of camera?
But Kevin Hart later on was interviewed, and he said that he gifted Chris Rock a goat. He brought it on the stage.
On the Dubai did.
He brought it on stage and gifted it to him because he told him he was the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And he wouldn't be who he was. He wouldn't be who he was if Chris wasn't who he was, which was the GOAT. Guess what the name of the GOAT was?
No.
Will Smith.
You know what?
Kevin Hart said he named the GOAT Will Smith.
Why?
He just named him Will Smith, and he gave him to Chris Rock and said, "You're the greatest of all time." He said Chris loved the GOAT. He laughed, he was happy, and he said the GOAT boo-booed on Chris' shoes.
That's why I thought that was funny. Will Smith, I'm still pooping on you.
still smacked him on stage as a goat.
I got your shoe, man. You can't.
I thought that was funny. The goat named Will Smith still boo-booed on Chris Rock.
Chris's shoe. That is so cute.
I thought that was cute.
Wow.
All right, so that was that.
Free on stage.
What else would interest you? Oh, Nick Cannon. He had his new child that was born.
Which is child number 10.
This is his 8th baby.
Oh, Lord.
And I believe it was with a girl named Brie, and I believe she was one of his girls on the show, on his comedy show. But the interesting thing is they interviewed Nick Cannon, and guess what Nick Cannon said? He said 80% of women need help with their feminine hygiene. And Charlamagne said that's probably because he slept with over 80% of the women in the world.
Right.
But the question I asked, well, here's the thing. Some of that, Angela Lee chimed in, and she said some people say some of that is because of men. I agree with that. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
A man can throw off your pH balance.
Yes. That's something
especially if you have more than one partner.
Yeah.
Condoms and all that stuff can throw off your pH balance.
Yeah, that's true because of the material
and soap
inside. Yeah.
Most women use soap.
Yeah.
And soap can throw off your pH balance
or a discharge.
It can throw off. You're not supposed to put soap on the inner part. A lot of women don't know that. So I thought when he said that, he wasn't, I don't think he's wrong.
Too far based
a lot of people, I was watching, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I wish I knew this lady's channel because I put it on here. It was a heavy lady. And she was talking about a lot of heavy women don't know how to clean. You got extra stuff that you got to lift
layers
and move,
and there's a lot of sweat glands are working overtime. So, because think about, there's parts of your body that's not getting air.
But just to the women out there, when he said that wasn't, I don't think he was
out. Get mad women.
And your diet also has a lot to do with it.
Let me tell you.
So when he said that, I was thinking he may not be wrong, because a lot of women use soap and I remember watching this one doctor say you can clean the outer layer, but don't put soap on the inner layer. The fleshy part.
Yes.
Because soap will throw off your pH balance.
Isn't that something? And a lot of times people will even saying deodorants. You have to be careful with deodorants that you're using as well.
So
nobody really, we don't think about those
things. We don't think about
women, even with the powder and the ovarian cancer and all of that.
Don't think about that.
Powder.
And deodorant.
Baby powder.
Deodorant doing breast cancer because of the stuff that's in it.
So there are some things I believe a man can say that can still give direction to a female, because sometimes a female may not even realize.
Right. But they got to understand.
Man sees and smells and just, you know.
But they have to realize that they play a part of that. A lot of times they can throw off your pH balance.
But what can they do?
Well, he needs to watch what he eats and stuff too. Or I'm talking about they not using stuff. He needs to watch what he eats and stuff, because he can throw off her pH balance too.
That's true.
So they talked about that. Envy joked and said it's all these big booties that people get these fake butts. He said, how can you clean that? He may not be. They was being funny, but he may not be off.
Fake things in your
How
body?
You even feel if you back there, you trying to clean? It's so fake and pushed up with stuff. You can't really get a good cleaning up in there. So I thought that was funny.
I don't think about stuff like that.
They joked about stuff like that.
Oh my God.
And then they had talked about, they stemmed off from that and asked people to call in. How do you tell somebody, a friend, if they've had too much plastic surgery? We was at a restaurant recently and we saw this lady with a BBL, the booty surgery. And it looked weird, didn't it? Because her legs were real small and she had this big butt. And I was sitting there going, so nobody telling her that. Nobody! We sitting looking at it. Nobody's telling her that she don't look good.
I think that's the same as doing an intervention with drugs and stuff. That just because
you think people might be telling them they not listening?
They're not listening. I mean, if you got to have that type of intervention, when you sit down in a circle and you got family, friends, all in that circle saying, hey, listen. But
how do you
they can still
people?
Walk away and not listen, because it's
right.
in the mind that they're not where they need to be with
remember
the body.
Lisa Rinna? That's on she's on the Housewives now, but you remember her marriage to what's his name? The lawyers. Yeah. She was on, was it Wendy? She was on somebody's show. I think it was Wendy, when Wendy Williams was around. And she says somebody told her.
And how did she respond?
She said she finally listened. She said they told her.
Now you're saying finally. So she must have been told more than one time.
But she said she finally listened.
I wonder was it a specific person too?
I don't know. They told her it's too much.
Ooh.
And she took some of it out. And then somebody called in on the Breakfast Club and was talking about Little Kim, and Charlamagne and Envy cut them off. And they were saying, and a lot of people in the comment section were saying, why would you cut them off if you asked people to call in?
Right.
And then you cut them off because they talking about somebody you like, which means you're not honest with Little Kim.
Right. Because her hips looked weird. She didn't do it to her hips, did she?
I don't know.
When she came out on the last show, and she had a little.
Do you think that you don't?
Her hips just look weird.
Do you think you don't say nothing if the person can't do anything about it?
Yeah, sometimes people feel like what me saying something is not going to do anything.
They can't do nothing about it.
You can't change it. You can't do nothing because if you
already messed yourself up.
Yeah, you're there. You're messed up now. If you go any further, what more damage can you do? And they probably assume somebody's already talked to her. She's not listening. What's going to make me say something different that she's going to go, aha, thank you, Charlamagne, I'm going to do that.
So that's the question. I guess I'll put that in the community.
Wow.
How do you tell your friend if they had too much plastic surgery?
And I guess you look at it differently than a serious drug addiction or alcohol.
No, you could be addicted to plastic surgery.
I'm thinking like this.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a drug or alcohol thing and getting crack or whatever, because that right there, it's like you think in your head that damages you right away, where you thinking the surgeries and stuff, you're not thinking that that's damaging them, even though the appearance is being damaged.
And I'll go a step further, because we are heavy women. When do you tell somebody they're too big?
Ooh, when they get 600 pounds?
Like what's that cutoff?
Saying, oh, you're at 400 or 500.
Or what if it's,
or you can't walk no more?
Why would you let it get to that point?
Yes.
When do you say something?
Yeah,
so that's a good one.
When
you say something to a friend.
Yeah.
Or I'll say friend because
member.
A spouse is different. To a friend. When do you say something? Or do you feel it's your place? Not to say nothing. Lil Wayne talked about how when Lil Wayne was 12, he shot himself.
Come on now.
Yeah, he shot himself, and he was laying there dying.
He was it suicidal?
I don't know. I got to double check. I think so. He said he shot himself. I don't know if it was by accident. You guys let me know. Or if he did it suicidal.
Oh, that's a big difference.
But he shot himself at 12. And the man who came, the police came. And he said they all stepped over his body to go get the drugs and all the kind of stuff that was in his, and was like kind of like leaving him there. And one cop stopped. His name was Bob. And he stopped and he was yelling at all the rest of the police officers, like, how you just gonna let him just lay here? They said, we called the ambulance. Lil Wayne said he picked him up, took him to the hospital, stayed with him when he was in the room.
You're kidding.
Police officer. This man died. So he was just given a rest in peace. They call him Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob died.
That was beautiful that he did that.
Yeah, so Lil Wayne said he don't care.
There are some good cops out there.
And he said he don't care about racism. He don't care about white or black. It was a white man that saved his life. So from there on, he don't look at nothing like that.
That's a beautiful thing.
All right, so then they talked about Envy has a car show coming up on August 20th in Atlanta City.
Who?
Just so y'all know, DJ Envy, one of the guys. One of the it's Charlamagne, Angela Lee, and DJ Envy.
Okay,
yeah.
so he has a show coming.
Yeah, he has a show coming.
Okay.
Master P, they talked about Master P. He was on Gayle King's show, Oprah's friend, Gayle.
And she asked some questions that embarrassed
Well, this is what I like about it. First of all, I like the fact that she had him on there.
Okay.
Because her and Oprah had a string of negative black man, black man, black man, black man.
Yes.
So she finally put positive with Master P.
Got it.
But he was on there discussing the death of his daughter, because his daughter just died.
Oh.
Yeah, and he said he's dealing with that pain.
How did she die?
Overdose. Yeah, she's substance abuse.
Oh my goodness.
So he said that he took that pain, he's wanted to turn that pain into purpose. So now he's working and collabing with a lot of substance abuse organizations and lending his name to it.
I love when you take your pain.
That's what he said. Pain and turn it into purpose. I like when he said that.
And I really believe that's it's unfortunate, but a lot of times people don't realize that when they have gone through so much, and just deal with so much, have testimonies out the kazooka, that when they turn their lives over and they become a person of faith, a person that has accepted Christ or whatever your faith base is, now you can turn what you've gone through
and help somebody
and survived it into purpose.
So I like that. Else. I liked how he was. I like how he's
pretty cool.
He's taking it. I love Master P.
I like him.
I like how he's taken that and turned that tragedy into purpose. And I like how Gayle King featured it.
Thank you. She didn't tear him down in any kind of way.
Thank you. That wasn't the time to ask about his divorce with his wife.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because you know that's a story. But you didn't go there.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you, Gayle.
Thank you. Because we don't need Master P jumping up like R. Kelly.
Or people get mad at her because the question
you didn't turn Master P into R. Kelly. This man, he came on here and talked about his daughter. Now he's jumping up and down,
angry like that Bishop was with Larry Reed.
Oh my God. Okay, so that was that. They talked about Charlamagne being on The View.
Okay,
we talked about yesterday.
What did he say?
They just said about him being on The View. Talked about his new show coming up.
Yes.
And then they asked him again about the Liz Cheney thing and
about
them saying about hero, and he was saying that bar is set so low. What the hero must be in hell.
Yeah.
If we calling Cheney a hero, he said that. He said we applauding her for cleaning up a mess she helped create.
Exactly.
That's like coming over somebody's house and destroying it, and then you leave and go, you know what? I'm gonna come back and help you clean up. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming back and helping me clean up my house that you destroyed.
But you know what? Let's look at it on the
Why are you a hero?
No. Let's look at it on the other side of it. What? We don't have to say hero.
Just say it's nice that you're doing that.
I'm glad you're doing it because you really need to do it.
But not a hero.
That's the reason why it's messed up.
Exactly.
But I think they're saying hero because
what?
The bar has been lowered.
It's so low.
Because nobody had a backbone with that man in office.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody. And she actually, whether she didn't pass the John Lewis bill or whatever, she probably said, I'm tired of this.
Well, we've had people,
I'm tired of this.
We had our View show yesterday, we talked about this, and I've had people in the comment section that you know, and they agree, they like, I don't care about her. I could care, she could do, she could do 100 million things.
Okay.
The stuff she voted against has set us back so many years that I can care what she do.
But
so it's kind of what Charlamagne said, you destroy a house and then you come back and help clean it up.
But you got us to thinking. What was in that bill?
What's in the bill?
For her to say,
see, or did she just go with the party?
95% there,
but
it was a 5% clause in there. She said, I can't say
this is when I'll say she a hero. Let's say that she just voted for party and didn't, everything in the bill was fine. Say it.
Okay.
Say I was an a-hole. I was stupid.
I shouldn't have voted against this,
shouldn't have done that. And it's like the house. I shouldn't have broken into your house. I shouldn't have messed it up.
I was a butthole for doing that.
I was a butthole for doing it, and I'm going to come back and help you clean your house up. But I'm no hero. I shouldn't have did it in the first place. If she does that,
take ownership,
then maybe people will be like, okay.
We'll see.
All right. Then they talked about Disney is starting to put rated R on their rated R movies on their platform.
Really?
Because the movies like Deadpool and the Wolverine and stuff like that, they're rated R movies.
Because of what, the violence or what?
The violence, probably the violence. And Charlamagne.
Say how much
hold on. Charlamagne said these kids see more of that on the games they play. They shooting each other. They cutting each other's heads off. So Disney, I think what's happening is Disney is catching up with what the kids are actually looking at. You can only show, whatever Disney stuff for so long with just a nice, clean, and then after a while the kids gonna be like, we're chopping each other's heads off now. Come on, lady. We watching Deadpool and all that.
PG.
Well, now Deadpool is rated R. Wow. So they gotta show their movies that's rated R now.
Okay, so wow.
And then they talked about Adele. Adele is starting back her concert again.
Okay,
so here we go.
Okay.
Adele is coming back.
You love her. You love her.
Okay.
All right.
Adele is coming
back.
Adele
lover. Okay. Is she still dating that guy?
Oh yeah, they supposed to be engaged or something. Yeah.
All right.
And then Charlamagne did a shout out to Whoopi and her Emmett Till movie.
Oh yes.
He said the trailer is out.
Okay.
So the trailer is out.
Take a look at it, you guys. Let's see what kind of spin that she's putting on it. I mean, she probably just telling a story like we've all heard, but who's whose eyes, whose lenses.
Yeah.
You know.
And then they talked about the highest what's the highest you ever gotten? They talking about like getting high.
Some people don't.
And I've never, I tried and I could never hold it in enough to get high. Drunk, yes. I've been drunk where you fall out, but never high.
I've never been where I was not conscious.
Right.
Of what
and
I
I'm
was
too
doing,
nervous to take any other drug because I feel like I would be the person that would take it. Because some people die the first time they take it. I feel like I would be the person that would take
poisoning
it.
And stuff.
No, like crack or cocaine. Or something. I feel like I would have been the person to take it one time and had a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
I'm not a chance person like that, you know. But I don't like being not knowing what's going on.
I don't like not being in control.
Yeah.
And you realize, going back to your Orange Nixon, Trump, he said Trump don't drink.
Right, he doesn't.
He wants to always be in control.
He does not drink.
He don't drink. He wants to always be in control.
Okay. That's something that we've always heard when he was running, when he was president. I never saw drink in his hand.
So that was it. That was the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
What do you think?
They talked about some good topics, especially Master P. I was just glad to hear that, and
Lil Wayne, and
I was glad to hear that Gail did a good thing with her interview.
Thank you.
Because they have been on the poop list.
Thank you.
You know, she tried to get on the poop list when they were doing the Martin Lawrence talking to Gina. What's her name? Tisha. What's her name? And trying to bring out,
Campbell.
Trying to
always.
Bring out a little bit of that Martin situation that they had.
God.
And I'm glad she kind of said, we at a better place now.
Thank you.
I mean, you got to be at a better place if they're doing a reunion.
Thank you.
But yeah, they try to slip in there like most news people do.
Yeah.
So
all right. So that was it. That was the Breakfast Club. So we'll see.
Okay.
I think we'll see
if we have enough to talk about.
We still, guys, let us know what you like on the show. We're filling this channel out. We're trying to figure out, I'm looking at the analytics. I'm looking at what y'all looking at. I'm looking at what people like. And then I'm seeing, okay, people actually like to hear what we have to say. I mean, you know, whatever. I don't know. Some people, we get all the comments, you knuckleheads and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, y'all don't know nothing.
But we do get a lot of positive
y'all like
comments.
A box of rocks.
Right. We do get a lot of positive comments as well. So, you know, and she watches The View every day, and I watch The Breakfast Club every day. So we thought about it and said, why don't we do something on something we actually watch every day, and just do a view.
And then I follow Larry Reed, so I give some updates on what he's saying.
And you were saying about me, because I watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm thinking the YouTube other stuff could be the rabbit holes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like we kind of did a rabbit hole with Larry Reed today about that pastor. The Breakfast Club talked about it, but Larry Reed also did too.
Oh God, he hit it really hard.
When I didn't know he was cussed him out.
I'm going back to it. I didn't know he was the one that actually leaked the story.
Yeah, that's why
he was the one that gave it to CNN News. So okay, all
right, y'all. So that was another review of the Breakfast Club. What would we call it? The Breakfast Club review?
I don't know, because you're going to be just.
We could call it the Breakfast Club review.
Because we're reviewing everybody and giving our little spill, our little taste on it.
Okay, y'all. So that was another Woods Report. See you later, guys.